Hi, Water Street Church. My name is Roberta. I want to reflect with you today on the fact that we as humans like to know things. I'm wearing my shield and mask today because that was part of my day. Why did I wear them? Because I needed to know something. So for my paid employment, I happen to work in the healthcare sector. And today I had a meeting at a job site. My day started quite early. Before the office opened, I had arranged for a colleague to meet me there. My colleague is trained in rapid testing and I had to take a rapid testing. She then witnessed and provided a witness statement that I took. I took a picture of my rapid test, of my witness statement, scanned it and emailed it off to the employer, and the employer reviewed them and gave me the green light to attend to the work site today. I then drove there and ended up 45 minutes before my meeting so that I could go through an extensive screening process. Part of that process involved showing evidence of my vaccinations. It involved getting swabbed again and waiting another 15 minutes. And it involved writing statements saying that I was doing everything that I could to protect the residents. And then I donned the mask and the shield, and I spent my entire time on site wearing protective equipment, full protective equipment, the gown and everything as well. And all of this was done because we wanted to know that we were doing everything that we could to protect the seniors that lived on this job site. And it occurred to me as I was driving home and thinking about spending some time with you that I spend a lot of my day wanting to know. I wake up in the morning, I have an electronic assistant, and one of the first things that I say is, "Hey, what's the weather like today?" And then I listen to the weather report. I get a news update. What's going on in the world? What's the latest stats on various different information that I like to track? All of this to know so I can plan and prepare. The night before I go to bed, I'm reviewing my agenda for the next day. What do I need to do? Where am I going? Do I need to prepare lunch? Not so good on that, but the things that we do to know. When I'm going somewhere, I want to know who I'm going with. I want to know where we're going. I want to know how long it takes. I have expectations of knowing things. And as an individual, I don't think I'm unique. So as a Christian, we practice something called faith, and faith is believing in something that we don't necessarily know. But as a Christian, when you read the Bible, you can understand that there are things that we can know and that we can trust and can rely on. So I want to share some of this with you. I personally study the New Living Translation. I was born and raised NIV, love the NIV, but I use the New Living Translation. I'm going to read that to you from that because it helps me kind of rethink what I'm listening to so I don't fall in the trap of listening to favorite passages and not actually hearing this. So I'm starting in Deuteronomy 31. And in Deuteronomy 31, Moses is 120 and he's speaking to the Israelites and he's giving them some indication of what it's going to be like going with Joshua into the promised land. And he talks about the fact that there's going to be war. And as part of his conversation, he says in verse 6, "So be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid and do not panic before them. For the Lord your God will personally go ahead of you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you." That's pretty amazing. But as somebody living today, I'm not going into war. So looking ahead into Psalm 118, and I'm going to read the first 9 verses. "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. Let all Israel repeat, his faithful love endures forever. Let Aaron's descendants, the priests, repeat, his faithful love endures forever. Let all who fear the Lord repeat, his faithful love endures forever. In my distress I prayed to the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me free. The Lord is for me, so I will have no fear. What can your people do to me? Yes, the Lord is for me. He will help me. I will look in triumph at those who hate me. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in people. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes." And then moving to Hebrews chapter 13, there's a section where both Deuteronomy 31 and Psalm 118 get quoted. And when you read Bible passages, we need to read them in context. And the context of those passages is different from the context in Hebrews. So I encourage you to look this up for yourself. But these are concluding words of the chapter, and it says, "For God has said, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you." So we can say with confidence, "The Lord is my helper, so I will have no fear. What can mere people do to me?" It's a beautiful thing. We can't know the future. We're in the middle of a time of change. We use the word unprecedented, but it's a time of change. There's not a lot that we can be certain about. We like to plan things. I'm thinking of a colleague whose son planned a wedding, and they don't know if they can get together in the grouping that they want to. We are faced with this on a daily basis. Going to the grocery store does not look like what it used to look like. Change is part of what we do. But what we have is a God whose love endures forever. It's the same God worshipped by the Israelites. It's the same God that Moses talked about. His love endures forever. We don't have to be afraid. So I hope going forward, you can lean on to that. You get to rely on that. That is what you can know. Until next time, it's been my pleasure to spend some time with you.